Hi guys, welcome back to our third week of online learning. Can you believe it's been 3 weeks? My goodness. Well, over the last 2 weeks, we have completed our chapter on the Constitution and the 3 branches of government. As you can see, they are written behind my head. So what we're going to do for today and tomorrow is we're going to review all the information that we've learned. And I'll show you a little strategy that I used that can help you to learn some of the vocab words and the people that we talked about. And then we'll play just a little game with trying to know the differences between the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. And then after that, each day, today and tomorrow, there'll be a PDF that you can click on in our little website that you can answer the questions and then return that to your homeroom teacher. All right, let's get started. So what I did for our vocab words is I made flashcards, kind of like how we do flashcards in math with our multiplication. Well, I made them for vocab words. So I'll show them to you. Here is the first one. Articles of Confederation. And what I did is I wrote what the vocab word was, and then on the back I wrote down what it was that we learned about it. So what I'll do is I'll hold them up. I'll read it to you. I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about it, and then I will read to you what we've learned about it, and then you can check off and see if you got them right. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video right now, go get a piece of paper and a pencil, something to write with, and I want you to kind of keep track, keep tally, just for fun, of how many of these that you remember and how many that you've gotten right. All right? Okay, so we'll wait. Okay, welcome back. Here we go. So our first one is Articles of Confederation. Do you remember what the Articles of Confederation were? I'll give you a couple seconds. Okay. The Articles of Confederation were a set of laws that the first 13 states made after the Revolutionary War. Now, the states were not working very well together, so they needed to make the Articles of Confederation stronger. And that's what our whole chapter was all about. Okay? Next one, Constitutional Convention. Couple seconds for that one. Yes, this is where the delegates met to improve the Articles of Confederation. They had this Constitutional Convention, this meeting in Philadelphia in the year 1787. And while they were here, they wrote the Constitution. Okay, next one, Delegate. What was a delegate? Oh, yes. A delegate is a person who represents a group of people. So each state sent a delegate to the Constitutional Convention to help write the Constitution. Next, Republic. What was a republic? It has something to do with the government and something to do with delegates, representatives, a government that is run by representatives. So we live in a republic because we get to choose our representatives that are in the government to help make choices for us. Okay. The Great Compromise. What was the Great Compromise? The Great Compromise was the decision that the delegates made at the Constitutional Convention to have 2 houses, to divide our Congress into 2 different groups. One group was the Senate, and the other group was the House of Representatives. Good job. Compromise. What is a compromise? Think about playground when you guys play games with each other. An agreement that is not exactly what either side wants, but something that both sides can agree to. So when you compromise, you kind of, create a new way to work things out. Okay. Excuse me. Ratify. What does ratify mean? Ratify. Ratify means to approve of something. That's right. Do you remember what our whole chapter was about? What did they have to ratify? The Constitution. That's right. They needed to ratify the Constitution to make it law. Do you remember how many states needed to ratify the Constitution to make it a law? Remember the fraction we talked about? Yes, 9. 9 states of the 13 states had to ratify or agree with the Constitution to make it a law. Ah, here's a bonus one for you. What was the first state to ratify the Constitution? We did. We mentioned it once. It begins with a D. Delaware. Delaware was the first state to ratify the Constitution. Okay. Preamble. What is preamble? Ah, that's right. Preamble is the introductory paragraph to the Constitution. And it also talks about the purposes of the Constitution. Do you remember how many there were? 6. Yes, there were 6 purposes to the Constitution. Very good. Okay. All right. Imports. What is an import? What is an import? That's right. Goods that come into the country. Goods that come into the country, kind of like when we get cars from Japan. Imports. Which leads us to exports. What are exports? If imports come into the Constitution, if imports come into the country, what do exports do? They go out of the country. That's right. They leave the country. So if we were going to grow a bunch of oranges and we were going to export them to Spain, that would be an export. Good job. Okay, now we're going to go over some people that we talked about. Benjamin Franklin. What did we learn about Benjamin Franklin in this chapter? Let's see. 1, he was a delegate at the Constitutional Convention. And 2, he said that he thought this was the best Constitution that they could make. And he urged everybody to vote for it because he agreed with the Constitution. Okay. George Mason. George Mason. What did we learn about George Mason? What was he against? Yes, he was against slavery. And he's also the one who told the delegates that they would bring the judgment of heaven on a country if they continued slavery. That's right, George Mason. Okay? George Washington. Now, we know a lot about George Washington, but just what we learned about him in this chapter, in this part of our book. Just that he was one of the delegates that was at the Constitutional Convention. George Washington was a delegate there, helping to write our Constitution. And our final one, James Madison. Do you remember what the importance of James Madison is to the Constitution? His ideas formed a lot of what's in our Constitution right now. One of the ideas he had was to have 3 branches of government. That was his idea. He was also the one who talked to the Baptists and told them if they agreed to the Constitution and they would help Virginia to ratify the Constitution, that he would start a Bill of Rights that would give them their religious freedom. Remember, the Baptists wanted religious freedom because they were afraid they wouldn't be able to worship God the way they wanted to. So that was James Madison. He was a huge, huge person in our Constitution. All right, so those were all of our vocab flashcards that we made. Now we're going to work with our chart back here, and I'm going to see if we can remember some of the things that go into it. So I have some big cards over here. So here is our first one. Let's start with this one. Here we go. No, let's start with this one, sorry. Okay, here we go. We have the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. All right, so our first one is signs the laws. Which branch signs the laws? Executive, legislative, or judicial? Which one do you think? Yes, the executive branch signs the laws. Good job. All right, our next one is try this one. Okay. Here it is. Federal courts. Which one of our branches do the federal courts belong to? Right. The judicial branch. Excellent job. Excellent job. Okay. All right. Next one. House of Representatives. Executive branch, legislative branch, or judicial branch? Yes, the legislative branch. Excellent, excellent. All right. Next one. There we go. Which branch interprets the laws? Which one interprets the laws? Yes, the judicial branch does. Very good. Okay. Which branch has Congress? Where does Congress belong? Yes. Very nice. You guys are paying attention. In the legislative branch. Good job. Okay. Where does the president belong? Yes. In the executive branch. Very good. All right. Let's see. What is this one? Oh, who gets to declare war? Which branch of government gets to declare war? Yes. The legislative branch does. Very good. Very good. Okay. All right. Who asks the question, does the law disagree with the Constitution? Which branch asks that question? Yes, the judicial branch asks that question. Very nicely done. Okay. Vice President. Where does the Vice President go? Executive, legislative, or judicial? Executive. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. All right. How about this one? Ooh, they're getting stuck together here, guys. Sorry. Okay. Which branch has people that are nominated by the president? Which branch? This is kind of a tricky one because I'll give you this hint. Which one only can be nominated by the president? Yes, that's right. The judicial. Very good. The judicial branch can only be nominated by the president. Okay. All right. Let's see. The Senate. Who has the Senate? Yes. The legislative branch has the Senate. Very good. Okay. Oh. Where does the cabinet belong? Which branch does the cabinet work from? Exactly. Exactly. The executive branch. Very good. Okay. Let's see. What do we have over here? There we go. Who can confirm or reject the president's nominations? Which branch can do that? Yes, the legislative branch can. Very good. They can either confirm or reject the president's nomination. That is how they get to check the power of the executive branch. All right? Okay. Who carries out the laws? Who carries out the laws? Yes, the executive branch does. Very good. Very good. Okay. Who? There you go. Who makes the laws? Which branch makes the laws? Yes, the legislative branch does. Good job. Okay. All right. Who has the power to veto laws? The executive branch does. Yes, that is how they get to check the power of the legislative branch? All right. Who has 9 justices? Which branch? Yes, the judicial branch has 9 justices. Okay. This is another tricky one. Who is voted by the people? Which branch is voted by the people? We actually have 2 branches. It could either be the executive branch or the legislative branch. I'm going to put this one under the legislative branch. Okay? All right. Okay. Where does the Supreme Court belong? In which branch? Yes. Good job. In the judicial branch. Very good. Speaking of the Supreme Court and the justices, who gets to nominate the justices for the Supreme Court? Which branch does that? Exactly. Very good. The executive branch. All right, we're running out of room here. Okay, just a few more, guys. Here we go. Which branch has 2 per state? Which branch has 2 per state? Yes, this is the legislative branch. Now, let me ask you this. Which part of the legislative branch has 2 per state? Tricky. Yes, it's the Senate. I'm going to put this one right here kind of behind the Senate so we have room so we don't run out. Okay? All right. Who gets to overturn unconstitutional laws? Which branch gets to overturn unconstitutional laws? Yes, the Supreme Court does. That is how they get to check the powers of the other branches. Okay, just 2 more. People vote for them. Now remember, we said that the voted by the people is also for the legislative branch. What is the other branch that are voted by the people? Yes, the executive branch. All right, I'm going to put this one right here on the side. There we go, because we're kind of running out of room. So I'll put that one right there on the side so you can see that one. People vote for them. Okay? Last one. 435 representatives that are chosen by population. Which branch does this go under? Yes, it goes under the legislative branch. But which part of the legislative branch? Remember, Senate has 2 per state. So which one has 435 representatives but is determined by how many people are in that state? Think. Representatives. Yes, House of Representatives. Very good. So I'm going to stick that one right under there next to the House of Representatives. So you can see that one in there. All right, so that's all of our choices, all of our things. All right, so this was our review, our first half of our review. So what I want you to do for your assignment today is on the website where you found this, there's going to be a PDF document that says Chapter 2 Review Part 1. Okay, I want you to do that, answer the questions. You can either take a picture of it or print it out, however you want to do it, and then send it back to your homeroom teacher. All right, and we'll continue our review tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. Bye.